Earlier, the information and assistance worker described Dennis's call to the ADRC and his subsequent conversation with Dennis's daughter. In this scene, the options counselor is meeting with Dennis and his daughter for the first time. This visit is important for many reasons. She will help them learn her role and begin building trust. At this meeting, Sally is overwhelmed and is ready to tell the options counselor all that is going wrong. Not all families will do this, and you might discuss later how Sophia could have handled this conversation differently. But pay attention to the multiple issues that Sally, Dennis's daughter, raises. Remember, these are actors.
So Sally, why don't you tell me a little bit about the experience and what your thoughts are?
Oh, I mean, I'm at my wit's end. That's what my thoughts are. I mean, you have no idea. Dad is getting so hard to handle right now. I mean, it's like he's totally spoiled and can't do anything on his own. He's absolutely demanding all the time. I mean, look, and it's bad enough that he calls me. Now he's calling other people all the time. There's no reason for you to call her to talk about your lunch.
Right.
I don't get it. Now, here's the thing. My sister thought that a new microwave would help him with lunch, right? Because he was complaining he couldn't get his lunch done right. Then he couldn't figure out the microwave, so she got him the simple one. There's only like 7 buttons on it. But somehow he can't figure out how to use the new microwave. So he won't use the new microwave. But the problem is she got rid of the old microwave. So we don't have that anymore. And now he doesn't have anything that he can use right now. And oh my God, it's like trying to keep track of everything. It's become my job to do everything for him. I put his medicine in those little pill containers where it has all the days of the week because that's what you said you needed, but for some reason that's not working, so I have to keep track of the medicine too. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do now. I mean, my God, he's just so. He's calling me up all the time. I mean, he started calling me up at night. He started calling me up at night because he couldn't figure out where his news program was. It's like, Dad, my God, I gotta get some sleep too, There's no reason to call me at night.
And that's okay.
I didn't do that.
But the thing is that it's just, I have a sister. She helps, sort of, kind of, some. But, I mean, I can't do everything. I mean, my husband is not all that well himself, and come on, I'm not as young as I used to be. I mean, I'm sorry to just spill like this, but it's just so frustrating. It's like Mom totally spoiled you, Dad, and you can't do anything for yourself. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Mom did everything, but she's not here now, so it's just me, and I can't keep up with everything.
That's okay.
My sister thinks he's fine, but the honest truth, I think he needs to go to a nursing home.
I'm not going to no nursing home. Who are you? What do you want?
Mr. Smith, I'm Sophia. Mr. Smith, it's very important that we come to see how we can help both sides, and I can get to know some things. I would really like to know some more about both of you. My name is Sophia, and I am hired by the county, and my purpose here is to try to help you out with numerous resources that are out there. I am an expert in resources, and I can help you out to know what is out there. I am not an expert in your lives. Everybody has a different personality and a different situation. Yeah. But we can get to the bottom of this just if we could find some ways of solving a few little problems at first.
Okay. I can stay home and learn the same thing and I can be at the nursing home.
And that's what we want. And I am here to make sure that I listen to you and both of you, and what are your needs? If your choice is to stay here, there are many, many resources that we have available for you to be able to stay in your home if that's what you choose to do, Mr. Smith.
Why is that so hard?
We just have to discuss these things.
Right.
Okay, let's reflect on what we've just observed. How did Sophia help to orient Dennis and Sally to the purpose of coming together? She was able to clarify the purpose of her visit. Importantly, she said that she was there to listen to them and to learn more about them. She also let them know that there were many options, and she would help them find options that would work for both Dennis and Sally once she got to know them better. In this first meeting, membership on the team consisted of Dennis, Sally, and Sophia. Sophia clarified her role was to help them find a solution based on their goals and needs. Dennis and Sally each have interests to be supported. Right now, they're at odds. His is to maintain routines and be at home, and hers include her father's safety and a more manageable role. Finally, Sophia learned about Lola, Dennis's other daughter. She also learned about tensions between the two daughters, at least from Sally's perspective. As Sophia talks with the family more, she will suggest that Dennis's other daughter be involved in future discussions. You may not encounter situations where a family member is this vehement and outspoken about their situation, particularly in front of their parent. More experienced adoption counselors may have been able to lower the volume and change the tone of the conversation early on. But this story does illustrate the tensions and frustrations that often arise in families as a parent begins to decline. Family conflicts in the past will still be present, and previous interactions will likely prevail. So, did Sophia set the stage for building relationships and trust? Was it a safe place for Sally? Being able to express her frustrations likely contributed to her feeling hurt. What about for Dennis? What did we learn about individual perspectives? It is clear that Sally does not have a good understanding of dementia, so she thinks that Dennis's behaviors result from his stubbornness and being spoiled. We know that Dennis wants to be at home and is adamantly opposed to a nursing home. The tension between Sally and Dennis could reflect a lifelong pattern, or it could be a result of changing roles and expectations. Sally may have a similar relationship with her sister. We'll revisit this in Module 7. Understanding the values and preferences of the person. The options counselor is beginning to get a sense of their values and preferences, but it will take more conversation to answer this question. Clarifying expectation will emerge as the process continues, but Sally and Dennis know that the options counselor is there to learn more about them and help them find a solution. Sally is overwhelmed with emerging responsibility and also needs support. But this support must be balanced with what is important to and important for Dennis. As you know, building trust is fundamental to working with individuals and families and supporting them as they navigate the world of living with dementia. The options counselor or case manager is critical for building trust among participants as well as trust in the process. The professional can go a long way by listening to the unique issues of the situation without preemptively solving the problem. This can be difficult when you know that a particular approach or service will be helpful. But first, the process calls for engaging with a person with dementia, making sure that personhood is protective, and the person remains at the center and involved with planning. And the families also need to feel heard and respected. So in addition to building understanding, there's a focus on strengths, validating points of view, and encouraging communication. In the next scene, observe how Sophia builds trust as she seeks to get to know Dennis better. This is the inquiry phase of navigating choices. Sophia needs to get to know Dennis and Sally, identify what is important to them, and who else should be in the room. See how focusing on Dennis's routines puts him in the center of the discussion and helps his daughter think in more productive ways. Let's take a look.
It might be useful if I get to know a little bit more about your routine and your life, Mr. Smith, so that we can see what are things that might be able to help you in your everyday activities. And to make your life better and to make everything that you're doing easier. So we can help you.
Well,
What do you think? Is that good?
it seems like that's all right. It seems fair.
Wonderful. So now, why don't we talk a little bit about what is a typical day for you, Dennis? What happens first thing when you wake up in the morning?
He gets up at the crack of dawn.
Well,
All
I
right.
get the paper. I like to read the
You read
paper, and want a damn paper boy deliver it.
Oh, Dan, I told you the paper doesn't come every day anymore.
Oh.
Okay?
Well, how the hell the paper, if you have a paper, why doesn't it come each day? There's news every day.
Dad, come on. You don't know what's happening right now. I mean, look, we have gone over this. That it's been quite the hot topic, actually.
Why can't I have the damn paper in the morning?
It doesn't come every single day.
They changed the schedule.
Things change sometimes, Dad, you know? And that's one of the things that changes. The paper doesn't come every day.
Okay. All right. So, So the days that you do get your paper, do you read the paper with your coffee? Do you make coffee?
I drink coffee and I read the paper, yes.
All right. So
When it comes. If it comes.
And
okay. Do you eat breakfast?
I like a cereal, and I put raisins and nuts in it.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
that's healthy. That's good. All right.
yeah,
cereal.
he usually does get his own breakfast. I mean, I have to bring the cereal and the milk and raisins and walnuts or whatever he wants that week. But yeah, and then he does clean up after himself. He washes his dishes. I'll give him that. You know.
Okay, so let's reflect a moment on this scenario. What did you observe? What did Sophia do well? And what else would you do to help build trust? In this next conversation, part of the conversation, the options counselor helps Dennis and Sally to begin a plan to support Dennis's routines. See how Sophia helped Dennis and Sally think about supporting some of the routines they had identified.
Okay, so we have been talking about, I just want to make absolutely sure that we come up with a plan that will observe all the priorities that Dennis has and his needs, and then can also incorporate some of the concerns and the priorities that Sally, your daughter, has. How does that sound? Is that a good plan?
Sounds fair.
Excellent. Okay, so let's see if there are a few things that we could do to support the needs and maybe the things that you need to get figured out in your daily routine. For example, that paper thing, let's say, the paper thing, how about, what would help you? What do you think would help you if you know that it's not coming every single day? What can remind you that that day the paper is not going to be there?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, now sometimes I do leave notes for Dad, and he does read them.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, so maybe that would be of help. Maybe if Sally would write you a note and put it on the door, would you be able to read that and then remember that the paper's not coming that day?
Sounds fair.
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Good.
And then maybe on the days that you don't have a paper, the days off, then you could read some of, what else do you have for reading? You have a Sports Illustrated magazine?
Well, Luis Suarez.
Oh, Luis Suarez, yeah. He bites.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So I'm glad. Yeah, that would help. That would help reading some other material.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you watch the World Cup?
I watched the World Cup for the first time. Got interested in soccer from the heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it hit my
All we
heart
heard
this
about
time.
for a while there
It
was
hit
soccer.
my heart this time. Yes.
Very good.
Sophia charted Dennis's routines on a tool called the Routines Map. She did this by taking notes and then creating the following chart. She could have done this directly on a flip chart. Here are some of the things that were listed in his routines map. It listed when and where the important events of the day and week occurred, and this information will be very important in helping Dennis and his family identify goals and actions needed to improve their situation. Note that Saturday he has breakfast with golfing friends. He visits grandchildren and great-grandchildren on the weekend sometimes. His daughter brings him meals for the week on Sundays, and that he enjoys cards. He also talks with his daughter regularly, the daughter who lives at a distance. The routines map helped Sally and Dennis focus on creating a detailed description of Dennis's support needs and the assistance that Dennis required on a daily or weekly basis. Sophia also helped Sally see that Dennis had many strengths. He was doing a lot for himself. She also acknowledged the multiple ways that Sally was providing support, and she took seriously Dennis's concerns about the microwave and his newspaper. These were important steps in building trust and beginning the first stages in the development of a plan that addressed the immediate concerns and strengths of both. As we've noted, a key family member was missing from the conversation. At Sophia's urging, Sally set up another meeting the next time her sister was in town. Sophia also encouraged Sally to think about who could support her. Sally mentioned her daughter Keisha. As a result, in the next family meeting to develop a complete action plan, Dennis, both of his daughters, his granddaughter, his friend Fred, and the options counselor participated. We will learn more about the results of that meeting and the plan they developed in Module 6.